You're now watching The Franchise on the DML Network.
Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy Expert, and it's the last episode of The Franchise for Madden 19. Our last show to go over these rookies that we've drafted and find out, did you reach or did you get a good pick? Plus, you know we're going to give away 2 awards. Somebody got Cosby this year, and of course, we got somebody that reached a little farther than everybody else and going to get that Stretch Armstrong Award. You know I don't do these shows by myself. First up, it's the OG, Chris Murray. What's going on, Chris?
Man, another show, man. It's going to get the banger. It's the last one of this cycle.
No doubt. And I got one of my favorite guys that does shows in the DML. It's the Bus, the owner of those Chicago Bears. What's up, Bus?
What's going on, man? Making this last stop. Get it.
Yeah. Man, so glad to have you on the show. Always good when I get the Bus on the show. And, of course, Chris Murray and I do stuff all the time. But let's get into these guys because we had a really good draft. This was a very deep draft. You know, one through 7 rounds was really, really good. We had some really good studs come out in this first round. And the Broncos had the first pick in the draft, and he gets the cornerback to come off the board, Vincent Payne. And OG, Vincent Payne, 95 speed, 98 acceleration, 81 man cover, 78 zone. This guy's ready to step in day one and kind of help this Broncos defense out because he's got some guys he's got to cover in that division. What'd you like about this pick here?
I'm almost a prayer, like I said before in the last franchise show. The first thing to do with any user in the DML is to be able to contend within your division. And this right here with this pick that JB made showed that he's focused on competing in this division because he got Tyreek Hill out there. I mean, who's a monster. You got Rashard Bass out there who's a speedster monster. So this pick right here, I think, was a solid pick for him to take his defense up to another level because he already has a star cornerback out there with some speed. So you pair these 2 guys together, you're setting up the foundation, man, come high stakes for your secondary.
No doubt. And it's, you know, this is not a small corner. This is a 6'2", 191-pound kid coming out of Nebraska. This is a big kid who knows how to play the ball. He's got 92 jumping ability. He's going to go up and get it. And already a top corner in the DML just off of his attributes. Going to be crazy to see him go against some of those guys he's got to face twice a year. Very good pick here by JB. Can't mess up the number 1 pick, and JB did a good job. Next up, the Buffalo Bills picking in the top 5 again. And we can see another corner come off the board and kind of has those same style attributes, Bus. That 94, 95 speed, got 97 excel, got that 92 jumping. Another good corner in Paul Herman. What'd you think about this kid going to Buffalo?
I think this was a great pick by the Bills. He's gonna pair Paul Herman up with the veteran Tre'Davious White, and I'm gonna piggyback off of what OG said as far as, like, you know, preparing for your division. If you notice this offseason, the Patriots made some great additions with some speed. We all know the Dolphins like to pass as well. So, and the Jets have some speed at their wide receiver spots as well. So bringing in Paul Herman is a great addition for the Bills in that secondary.
Yeah. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys. You see him on the screen. OG Chris Murray, the strong safety, Brent Runyon, and HB did some amazing things in the offseason to go and get a couple additional picks that he did last year. And if you ask me, HB had probably one of the best drafts in the whole DML. Now, what he does with these guys, that'll be a different story. But let's talk about Brett Runyon, he's moved him to free safety from strong safety. But this kid coming out of LSU, 5'10", 198 pounds, Chris Murray, but he's got 94 speed, 92 excel. He's already got 82 zone. What can this guy do for this Dallas Cowboys secondary?
It's going to be a dude, man, that you can, even though, like you said, you know, he can't tackle. I think it was a good move from him moving to free safety. This is a guy who's going to cover wherever you put him at. He's going to cover that field flat out, man. He has the speed. You know, he has the zone coverage, and you also could put him in man coverage too. So that's the best thing, like, you know, about this guy. You can utilize him in wherever you want, you know. But the thing is, can the GM and the Dallas Cowboys organization figure out how to, you know, not make this be a poop stop for him, but actually accelerate this guy's career through the roof? Because we know, even though, you know, some guys might get some talent, the organization sometimes can't figure out how to, you know, make this guy gel into their system. So I'm looking forward to see what HBO is going to do with him. He already got the high pads on him. He looking like he on steroids already. So I'm looking forward to seeing man.
Yeah, and HBO had 2 picks back-to-back busts. And with that second pick, he's going to go and bolster this linebacker core with James Trevino. This is the rookie coming out of USC, 6'3", 238 pounds. And this kid can flat out fly at middle linebacker. 88 speed, 91 excel off the jump. What'd you like about this Trevino kid coming out of USC?
Man, I like everything. You know what I'm saying? James Trevino was probably one of the best or the best linebacker in this draft. And with the 88 speed, he'll be able to cover sideline to sideline. And with him and Runyon on the field at the same time, I'm hoping they bring some winning traditions back to Dallas, and HBO really uses these guys to help him get back on the winning side of the Madden.
Yeah, that will be the thing to see. Can these 2 guys help this defense out? After losing Jalen Smith and Vander Esch in trades, he needed some guys to help bolster, and he's got a good linebacker core, and Trevino's just going to make it even better. Next up, the Tennessee Titans. He's going to go wide receiver here, and we knew Denard was going to come off the board fairly early in this draft. Number 1 wide receiver, pretty much on everybody's board, and the 24-year-old kid coming out of Michigan State. He's 5'10", he's 185 pounds, but Chris Murray, you know all about speed at wide receiver. This kid can flat out fly. What is this Denard kid going to do to help this Tennessee Titan team, especially in a tough division with 3 guys that usually have 9 to 10 wins a year?
Yeah, the thing about this guy, when it comes to speed, I don't care what owner you is, what organization you're running, you need speed, because one thing about speed is dudes have to respect it, and it opens up what you can allow yourself to create on the offensive side of the ball. So what this guy's going to do, if you watch the Tennessee Titans team, he already has, in my opinion, as far as on paper, a Hall of Fame quarterback out there with Clay Brooks. But now you hear Clay Brooks with a weapon like this, and their running game is okay. Watch, man, this guy's going to open up that Tennessee Titans offense playbook, and he's going to be able to do a lot of creative things out there in Tennessee, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I know there are cornerbacks in this AFC South that are worried about Denard. We're going to put Jalen Ramsey on him man-to-man. We'll see what he does with the veteran. Next up, we got to give an award away. And so, Dion, roll that footage.
As you know, I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape.
Every time I see that video, it cracks me up. The funniest part of that video to me is when Bill Cosby reached back and closed the door real slow. That's the funniest part to me. But shout out to B. Jeezy and those Baltimore Ravens. He's going to get the Cosby Award for his trade with Flair and the Pittsburgh Steelers and Chris Murray. How do we continue to see Flair on one side of this Cosby Award?
Because it's just like, well, Flair does his own thing, man. That's the thing. Flair does his own thing, you mean? And this is my opinion right here. Flair tends to always manage to somehow, some way help out top tier guys in the DML. That's the reason why. That's it. Like, when you sit there, you have a guy who pretty much put a banner up this season, already has a solid defense out there in Baltimore. Why give him a top 10 pick? That's the reason why right there, man. Then Flair was not even paying attention. Okay, I understand you didn't make any big contracts, deals throughout this whole cycle. You're getting players that you have to re-sign. Like, I don't understand it when you could have took your pick and drafted a guy like this. So this is why you're getting this award, man. You gotta tighten up, man. You gotta tighten up.
Yeah. So the trade was actually Bruce sent Judah Mills and a future 3rd and 4th round pick to the Steelers for the 6th overall. And the reason he can do this is because he has Jamal Adams now playing strong safety for him. So he can send Judah Mills over to Pittsburgh and kind of bolster his linebacker core, because let's look at this kid here, Bus. Phillip Shatley. To me, this was one of the best linebackers coming off of the board. And the Ravens, already a defensive-minded football team, are now going to add a kid like Shatley to his arsenal. 88 speed, 87 excel, This guy has agility. He's 6'2", 236. He's only 21. He's going to progress very, very fast. He's got 83 pursuit. He's got good zone coverage. I wish his block share was a little bit better at linebacker, but how is Shatley going to fit into this Baltimore team here, Bus?
Oh, he's going to fit in really well. I'm sure he's already fit in. When you drafting a guy like Philip Shatley and you team him up with E.J. Gray, probably another future Hall of Famer, possibly. Shatley, I think, was maybe 1 or 2 steps below Trevino, but they're very close. So you could have went either way with them. And being that he's out of Clemson, man, that's one of my favorite. Well, that is my favorite school. I think Shatley will help get this defense better than what it is. He could possibly bring in another Dynasty trophy, Dynasty Super Bowl, but with that division, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Shatley is a great addition to this Ravens team.
Yeah, good pick here by the Ravens. And Jeezy, go ahead and change your name. You now are the Cosby Award winner for the last franchise show here for Madden 2019. All right, next up, King Vitamin and those Rams. And another speed wide receiver. We see Perry Fluellen. I knew I was gonna jack his name up as soon as I saw him on the list. Fluellen. Yeah, from Lehigh College. Nobody really had this guy on the radar. 5'10", 179 pounds. Chris Murray, another speed wide receiver, 93 speed, 95 excel. Was this the top need for the Rams, or maybe he could have gone somewhere else?
I'm going to tell you why, man. For the DML, if y'all have not noticed, y'all better take a look at that LA Rams roster, because he is putting together some weapons out there. He already has 99 overall wide receiver, was Quintavious Sullivan.
Correct.
Out there. He has him out already. He's already a 99 overall. Now you add, he's a big body wide receiver. You got your big body wide receiver out the way. Now you have a guy that has speed that the defense has to pay attention to. His offensive line, he's starting to put together his offensive line. You add a weapon like this out there in LA, and it's going to take him over the top. I'm telling you, come high stakes, we're going to see a real Los Angeles Rams team out there competing.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see King Vitamin get back to his winning ways like we saw in Madden 18. But we'll see what he does. He is building a nice little roster. Next up, the boss, the commish, Mr. Nasty Noob, and he gets cornerback Francis George. And Bus, I mean, anytime you get a 95 speed, 95 excel corner, this is the guy you can run with at any point, whether high stakes is coming or not. And the fact that this kid is 6'2", 181, I mean, this is a great all-around corner, and he gets him at number 8. What'd you think of this pick?
This was a great pick for the Falcons, and I'm basing this projection on what he has to deal with those New Orleans Saints having all that speed on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not gonna call him Frank because I think I saw the interview. He said he wouldn't want to be called Frank. So Frank George is the man that could possibly slow down Mr. Neely in New Orleans. So I think this is a great pick for the Atlanta Falcons, man. I expect Frank George to be the best corner in the Atlanta Falcons history, besides prime time. This guy's gonna be good. Gonna be good.
In my jet voice, his mama call him Francis. I'm gonna call him Francis. Francis George plays for the Atlanta Falcons. But I did see that article where he wants to be called Frank. Well, we'll move on. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks. And we're going to see Reggie Bradham come off the board. The strong safety who was rated number 1 on a lot of people's board at strong safety. 81 overall already. He's already had an upgrade. Star development, 5'11", 196. 87 speed, 90 acceleration. But Chris Murray, that 84 hit power is going to help him out. And he's already got 80 man coverage. Is this the pick that helps the Seahawks get back to his winning ways?
Man, yeah, but I'm gonna say no, because I think the Seahawks definitely needed help at the cornerback position. Now I knew. Matter of fact, let me back up off of that. This guy, depending, like I said about HBO, depending if Jay and those Seahawks can figure out how to get top production out of this guy, because he has all the qualities that you need for the strong safety position. He has 90 acceleration, 87 speed, but that hit power, he can come down there and lay a hit on somebody. But my thing is, can Jay figure out how to make this guy gel into a system? Because in my opinion, the defense was cool out there in Seattle. I was looking for him to take an offensive weapon in this draft, which had a lot of them, but he picked up a strong safety. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what he can do. But if he can figure out how to make him gel into a system, this guy could be a top-tier strong safety in the DML.
No doubt. Next up, Marizzi and the Colts. And Marizzi is going to pick up the first tailback come off the board, James Daniels, 21-year-old rookie coming out of Tennessee. 91 speed, 92 excel, and he already had a decent run game. And now this guy kind of just bolsters that. And Bus, when you get a guy that's got 93 carry, and he's already got 80 spin move, he's got 84 ball carry vision. How important is that if you want to be a run-heavy team to have a kid like this?
That's very important, man. Because when you have a running back and you're in the DML, one thing that you don't want to do is have a back or a player that puts the ball on the ground. That would get you on the bench real quick. So with James Daniel having that 93 speed, and once he gets out in the open, you don't know which way he's going to go. He can juke you, spin, do whatever, but he's going to get around you. So James Daniel is a really good pick for the Colts. I like this pick.
Yeah, good pick for the Colts. Next up, Matty Ice and those Philadelphia Eagles moved his way up into pick number 11, and we see Gerard Davis. This is the linebacker, 86 tackle. He's got 87 hit power. He's got 85 speed, 89 excel. Did Matty Ice need another weapon on the defense, Chris Murray?
Yeah, of course, you gotta look at his linebacker core, man. Outside of Painter, all his linebackers are aging, and this right here was a dangerous piece that he just added because his secondary is solid. His front four with him adding Myles Garrett last offseason is solid. So with him placing this linebacker with that speed, the Philadelphia Eagles just got more dangerous, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy that he got another weapon. Next up, the Ravens with another pick in the top 12.
Wow.
We see Case Lolito and Bus. This one hurt. This one hurt right here, Bus. You and I were in the party chat together as we were waiting for this guy to drop down the board. And I believe you had picked 24, Bus. And I think I have picked 29. And Lolito was our number one prospect on the board. We were waiting for this guy to tumble down to us to give Dak Prescott another weapon. I know you were waiting for him as well. 87 speed, 85 excel, 81 catching ability. He's got 80 catching traffic. Talk about why this guy was so high on your list, Bus.
Well, this guy was high on my list because of a trade that I made. So I was really trying to double dip. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And if you know, during these drafts, tight ends come a dime a dozen. So when you see one or two that really stands out, you got to try to grab them. But this guy was the number one tight end in the draft with 87 speed. He can catching traffic. He was a guy that could be that safety blanket, as you all know, for all quarterbacks. So this is why he was high on my list. And like you said, me and you both were in the party. And you was like, man, I can't believe he went that high. I was like, hey, he wasn't going to get past 24. So either way it go, Expert was going to be a little sad because I was going to grab him at 24.
I tried the whole offseason to move up because I knew this guy was going to be a hot commodity. I know he can't run block. He can't lead block. He got no impact blocking. He got nothing to help Leonard Fournette run. But, boy, if Dak Prescott sees him over the middle, we throwing a high ball to him. That's just how it was going to be. But the Ravens snatch him here early in the first round at number 12. And before we get to pick 13, we're going to give our second award away. So, Dion, roll that next video.
Breaking news. Today, unpredictable events have occurred across the globe. Who has come to save the day for humanity? Who is this mysterious mighty hero? Stretch Armstrong. Your stretchable superhero. Stretch him 4 times his size. He becomes bigger than a building. Tie him into a knot. He always goes back to his original shape. Stretch him again and again. Stretch Armstrong. The return only from character. Stretch Armstrong.
That's right. Congratulations to our very own co-host, Chris Murray, and those Cleveland Browns. You are the Stretch Armstrong Award winner for Kadriel Roberts. Now, Chris Murray, you in the chat with us for the draft. And when Roberts fell here to 13, did you feel like this was a stretch pick? Or did you feel like when you have that kind of speed, 96 speed, 96 excel, you got to take a risk for this guy?
Yeah, listen, man, I'm just like I said on previous shows, some other owners not going to understand the painting the portion that you're putting together with your organization. So some guys look at it as a reach, but in my opinion, I know how I play with wide receivers, and I already have a dangerous threat with Lamar Jackson, also with, John Ross. So now it's taking guys out of the play of just focusing in on one speed wide receiver. Like I said, speed kills, no matter who it is. No matter if it's my grandma running a 4.24 or a young veteran like this guy right here. You see what I'm saying? You got to respect it, because if you don't, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take the top off your defense every single time. So I don't think that it was a reach. I think that this guy right here is going to gel in my offense, pretty good. But we'll see. I got to prove
he is 6 foot. He can run. He is young. He's going to upgrade fast, so we'll see. I'm sure this guy will take that Stretch Armstrong, put that chip on his shoulder, and we'll see what he does. We don't expect you guys to agree with the Stretch Armstrong. We don't expect y'all to be happy about it. I believe Kansas City Chiefs had a Stretch Armstrong wide receiver that's out there balling as well. So we'll see what Roberts can do in Cleveland. We know you love to throw the deep ball. Next up, comeback king himself, C-Rob, those Panthers. And guys, we finally see an offensive lineman come off the board here at pick 14. Bus. Rodriguez Wiggum. This is the first lineman that comes off the board. 21 years old. He's already at 81 overall. And this guy is a big center. I'm sorry, right tackle. He's moved him to center now to play in the middle of that offensive line. Star development, 6'8", 330 pounds. Talk about this kid right here coming out of USC.
Man, hey, Rodriguez Wigham is a massive guy. Kid, 6'8", 330, 21. This was a great pick for the Panthers. And I kind of like the fact that he moved him to center, because I don't know everybody else, but I kind of like my center to be strong with a K, you know what I'm saying? And this dude right here is very strong, you know what I'm saying? And he's going to anchor that O-line. He's not going to be the captain as of yet, but next year I expect C-Rob to put that C on his chest, because he's gonna be worth all 4 years that he signed in that contract. So Wigham is a nice addition to the Carolina Panthers. I like it. I love this pick.
Yeah, this is a great pick here for C-Rob, and he's already had 2 strength upgrades. He's at 94 strength now at the center position, which is just crazy. 86 pass block power. I mean, this is a monster of a man in the middle of your line. This is a great pick by C-Rob, and I know he's happy that he fell all the way there. Next up, the Bengals have a pick here in the first round, and they get Nate McFoy, a right end, and Chris Murray. Talk about this pick. This is one I wasn't impressed with here.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I think that he just looked at his draft board and figured out, that this was the best player on this thing. My whole thing is this right here. You trade away Myles Garrett, right? This looks like this is going to be a pick to where as though he's trying to fill that voided hole like JB did with the Denver Broncos. And this guy's not the answer. He's not. He's nowhere near a comparison to Myles Garrett. He can't even put it on. So I'm not impressed at all with this guy at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
I mean, 6'3", 312 pounds. This is a defensive tackle for me. He is a star development coming out of Wisconsin. He does have good speed on him at 81 speed, 80 excel. He's got great strength at 94 strength. His block shed is really good, but I'm just not impressed with his finesse, his power moves. His play recognition is way down. His awareness is down. It's going to take some time to get this guy built up. To me, this was a reach pick here. There were some other guys on the board that I felt at defensive tackle, there were some guys that he could have put in this spot here if he wanted a big, huge guy. But let's move on to the Cardinals. And we see our first quarterback, Richard Bauer, and Bus, 97 throw power here. Accuracy looks good, short, medium, deep. Play action looks good. Did you think the Cardinals needed a quarterback, though, as a new guy here in the DML?
Well, it just depends on how you look at it. I remember during the offseason he had Cam Newton on the team, and I know Cam was getting a little old. And I'm looking at the Cardinals roster now, and I see he has Derek Carr there. But this pick of Richard Byer, I thought it was okay. But if you look at his team, he drafted another quarterback that has a higher overall than him. So if you ask me, do I like this pick? No, and I'm saying no based on what transpires later on in the first round, and we'll get to that later. But the pick was decent. I thought he could have went another QB, but hey, he got what he wanted. So but we'll see later why I say what I say.
And this is a ball game because Richie drafted 3 quarterbacks in this draft.
I didn't even see the third one. I saw the first 2.
Yeah, Christian Smoker, Richard Bauer, and then Jason Hoffman. All 3 drafted in this draft. And all 3 of them could start. And he got the other 2 later in the draft. So to me, this was a wasted pick here for the Cardinals. Bauer he is forced in to be the starter. He has to be the starter, and he has to produce. You cannot afford to waste this pick at pick 16. But we'll see. We'll have an eye on Richard and see what he does here for the Cardinals. Next up, Seattle Seahawks. Again, Xavier Bond, left tackle, and Chris Murray. This is the guy you put out here at left tackle, and you just don't even worry about anything else. This guy's going to take care of everything. Talk about Xavier here.
Listen, man, this move right here, like I said in the beginning of the show, you have to be able to contend within your division. And adding this guy right here with playing against guys like Sweets 99 with those San Francisco 49ers, who their front for on that defensive side of the ball is just crazy. You know, this guy, like you said, expert, you can put him wherever you want to put him in, and he's going to hold it down. 94 strength. 94 strength.
Yeah.
We could take one of his arms away. He'd still be out there making good blocks. and this is a big guy, a big athletic guy. So he's going to be one of them guys, man, that the Seattle Seahawks, from day one, is going to be like, you know what? I'm going to put him here. I can put him here, and I ain't got to worry about it. He's just one of those people that you just throw him wherever you want, and he's going to produce. I like this pick right here. Solid pick.
Yeah, solid pick here for the Seahawks. Let's move on. Next up, the New York Jets. His first pick here in the first round. We get Zach Horton, another running back comes off the board. This is the kid out of Montana University bus. And is this a jag? Is this just a guy, or is this a good piece here for the Jets?
I'm not gonna say he's just a jag. I think he's a pretty good player. There were some running backs that went off the board later that I felt like he could have selected. He really wanted to address that position. But when you look at his roster, Horton comes in and should start. So maybe he's a starter based on the personnel that's already there. But it's a decent pick. But like I said earlier, there were later running backs that went that he probably could have selected. And I'm sure he already has the 99 gloves on and the 99 cleats. And he should probably take those off and let this man earn that equipment.
Yeah, he already got it on. And he's already changed his number. So let's move on to the next pick. It's the Redskins. Cooper Bloom coming off the board here. Chris Murray, another big offensive lineman with good strength, good attributes. Another pickup. Is this just another solid pick here by under 2 rated?
Yeah, it's another solid pick, but the question that the people have is, can we see under 2 rated produce, man? This guy has been having his first overall picks for the previous drafts have been solid picks across the board, but can we see these guys produce? This is like another HBO scenario, man. We have a good guy who's a solid player entering the DML, but can the owner and the coaching staff figure out how to get top production of this guy? But he's a solid guy. 91 strength, 83 pass block. I mean, he's going to be that guy that can, like I said, place him anywhere, and he's going to hold it down regardless of who's rushing in. Myles Garrett, if he's out there in Philadelphia, or if there's anybody out there in New York, or I don't know who HBO got because he traded with all his players. But this guy's going to do his thing, man.
Yep, another good pick here by under 2 rated. Next up, his division mate, Matty Ice from the Philadelphia Eagles. His second pick here in the first round. He gets Hanson Glennon, a left outside linebacker here. And Bus, talk about Hanson Glennon now going to the Eagles. Does he stay at linebacker, or is this a defensive end for you?
No, this is absolutely a D end. He's a little. Well, I'm not gonna say a little. He's too slow to be running in coverage with tight ends, running backs, or even possibly covering the slot. So yeah, you move him to a D end immediately and let him stay there. So,
and that's exactly what Matty Ice did, Bus. He moved him to left defensive end, and he's going to let him play over there, especially with 86 power moves. This is a good defensive end here. And we'll have to find out from Matty Ice if that was the plan all along, was to move this guy, or if he drafted him to play linebacker once he saw his speed, realized he couldn't play there. But let's move on, because the Houston Texans and SJ got back-to-back picks, and we'll start with Fernando Payton. This is the defensive tackle that I felt could have gone earlier, and Chris Murray. This is the big boy in the middle. Talk about Fernando.
He's going to be one of them people that's going to clog the middle up, and you're going to be required. This is going to be a requirement, because he's a big guy, to put 2 guys on him, or somebody's going to have to be shedding him or something. I'm telling you right now, because if you give him a one-on-one opportunity, he's going to tear your center apart. You know, he's going to sit there and going to bull rush him right back to the quarterback, and he's going to be grabbing the center while also grabbing the quarterback. I promise you that. But this is another divisional move right here. You have a division who loves to run the ball. So you got to stack up your front four on the defensive side of the ball, flat out. And I like this move right here by SJ. This is a solid pick.
Absolutely. 6'7", 302 pounds. He's got the league's leading rusher over there in Jacksonville with Leonard Fournette. Got to do something to stop him. This is a good pick by SJ, but he's got pick 22. So let's look at SJ's second pick here in the first round, and it's Christian Boatwright. And this is maybe the pick SJ wishes he could get back, Bus, because Boatwright's attributes just didn't match up to what his combine was.
Yeah, Boatwright. I mean, he comes in with a pretty high overall, but I mean, he's entering, I think, is a crowded secondary. So where are you even going to fit him in? But being the fact that he's a first-round pick, you gotta put him on the field, man. You just can't let him sit there and be a backup. So I probably would have went a different route here, but I mean, he's not bad. I mean, he can tackle, he can hit power, but other than that, I don't see him beating out any other guy that's on the Texans roster right now. So
yeah, and he's aging in the secondary, Bus, with Tyrann Mathieu hitting 33 years old this year, still playing well for him. Plus, he had TJ Green, who's 30 years old, still running 93 speed, 93 excel. I just feel like SJ feels like he wants this pick back, because you talk about he had 6 free safeties or strong safeties on the roster already, and he kind of brings another guy in here. And I just think he felt like he was aging, but some of those guys that are aging are still playing well for him. Could have held on maybe another year. Next up, the Chargers. And we see Raphael McMillan come off the board, another fast cornerback. And Chris Murray. Are you surprised McMillan lasted all the way here to pick 23?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm highly surprised that he lasted, and I'm also surprised that he fell to this unit, you know, with guys needing help in their secondary. Because he was on my board. If that 96 speed wide receiver wasn't there, I was definitely taking him. But he fell to a owner, you know, an organization that, in my opinion, is solid in the secondary position. They're solid, but adding a piece like this, how can you get mad? 93 speed, right? 95 acceleration, and you already have a stacked secondary. This is just like you getting the cream of the crop with him. You know, so I'm just looking out to see what Andy Forrest is going to do with this guy. That's what I want to see, because this secondary, in my opinion, is solid already out there in LA. So you just adding this guy is just like, what are you looking to do? And I'm interested.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to try and play against this Chargers back four. They are definitely stacked, and when you add a guy like McMillan now that can play in the slot, can play outside, this is a great pickup here by the Chargers, especially at pick 23. Next up, 24, it's the Chicago Bears. All right, Bus, let us know. Alex Minor becomes a Chicago Bear.
Yeah, man. Alex Minor became a Bear because everybody else we had on our board was gone. Pretty much. I really wanted to target the O-line with my first overall pick, but the two guys that I had on my board went real quick. And then, of course, as we talked about earlier, the tight end went. But Alex Minor was a great pick for us. We needed some linebacker help, and we was going to kind of address that in the second round. But, hey, you can't pass up a guy who's 80 overall star dev, and he's going to come in and play, man. He has good hit power. He can run. The only issue that we had coming in with him is he immediately requested for number 54. And so I had to call Erlach on the line, but like, hey, man, is this okay for Minor to wear your number? And he gave him an okay, so I expect Minor to be ready and be a very good player for the Chicago Bears.
Man, that's some big shoes to fill to put Brian Urlacher's number on, especially in Chicago. We'll see. 90 hit power, 90 tackling. That's a linebacker you don't know hit you when he gets you in that hole. We'll find out. Next up, it's the Packers and Parker Sheeslack. I'm sorry. I called this guy on the phone and he said, man, I know you're going to mess my name up. Just have everybody call me Parker. And I hate to say this, but Parker may be forgotten here real soon as a strong safety. 85 speed, 88 excel. He does have 88 hit power, good pursuit. But did the Green Bay Packers need something else in that division to go up against the Bears? And I'm going to go to you, Chris Murray.
Yeah, man, of course. He needed another wide receiver threat. I'm just telling you that right. That's what he needed. All right, you have So when you talk about this Green Bay Packers team, right? He's just stuck in his ways, right? And you can't expect. I'm just telling you this right now in the DML, free chicken. You can't expect to run the ball 99% of the game with the same exact running plays, right? Against a guy who's a defensive-minded coach, like the bus out there who's been running that division since the cycle started. You can't expect to win. You can't. So by him taking this piece right here, and when we get to this later draft pick in this round, I'm going to tell you who he should have took with this pick. Whether dudes thought I was reaching out, I'm going to tell you who he should have took. You need more offensive weapons besides Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, you got Stephon Diggs. Okay, yeah, he's all right. He still has Devontae Adams. But this player that if he could have added him with this crop of wide receivers, it would have took his offense a level through the roof, because now you have somebody that the defense has to respect who could take the top off the defense. Yep. And you still have that 99 overall running back who's a glitch when he can stay healthy. Come on, man. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, this, he didn't need this. Like, watching him play, it gets frustrating because I don't know, man. I ain't giving away no free chicken. It is what it is. But this guy right here, he didn't need him. He did not need him. The pick that he needed, we would get to. And I'm gonna let you, Mr. Kurt. I hope you tuning in and you listening. I'm gonna dig in your ass about this. I'm gonna let you know why. But no, he didn't need this expert, man. He didn't need that pick, man.
Next up, it's the Jets. Let's go to the Jets pick. We'll get back to the Packers here shortly. Gabriel Brewer and Bus. Another solid offensive lineman, goes deep in the draft. Are these picks here where we just kind of look at these and go, these are playoff teams that we saw last year, and so we expect them to start getting some of the bottom of the barrel here in the first round?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, once you get, in the 24 or 25, you're really just looking to find a player that's decent, who you can possibly play, or, kind of gel into, a starter role the following year. But Gabriel Brewer, that's a pretty solid pick, man. I mean, if I'm picking him, he's starting immediately. So,
absolutely. Good pick at 26, no doubt about it. Will definitely help the Jets out. Next up, it's the Raiders, and we get Bryant Haywood, and this is the right end, and 81 speed, 82 excel. He's got 78 blocks, he has 78 tackle. Chris Murray, Bryant Haywood, did you like this pick here at 27?
Yeah, because right now you're basically getting, what's left of the draft, and this right here was a solid pick, because Tone, he already had some guys on that front four out there at Oakland that can get after the quarterback, so just add him. I think that this guy's going to be one of the people that doesn't have, even though Ohio State is next season, Tone does not have to just throw him out there to the wolves and rush him into his system. So I think that this guy come week 9 in this season, we know who he really is.
Next up, it's the Super Bowl champ. He's won it multiple times. This is the Miami Dolphins in tight work. And Bus, Sheldon Copley falls all the way to pick 28. This is a good cornerback here with 94 speed, 93 excel. This your buddy tight work. Is he excited about this pick here at 28?
Yeah, he was really looking to, gain some speed at the cornerback position, and I'm not sure if nobody's aware, but I'm sure they'll know once they start finding out, once they play him. This move really allowed him to move Mika Fitzpatrick back to the safety spot.
Yep.
So think about that speed that moves back to the safety area, and now you bring along Sheldon Copley, who can pretty much cover or stay with any wide receiver in the DML. So great pick for tight work.
Yeah, you're talking 91 speed, 98 excel now, moving back to free safety with pretty much 94 man, 97 zone coverage. Minka Fitzpatrick moving back to free safety was probably one of the best things to happen for tight work. He is very excited for this move, and we'll see if Sheldon Copley can live up to those standards. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jags had to go find somebody to help out Leonard Fournette. We're starting to see the steel threads in the tires on Fournette. We've been running him into the ground. So Deron Reed comes off the board here to the Jags. Chris Murray, solid pick here for the Jags, or should he go somewhere else?
Oh, this is a solid pick because, it's all about stocking up, and Leonard Fournette sometimes, even though he's been the lead rusher in the DML for a couple seasons, he tends to get hurt sometimes. And watching, your moves that you made this off season is pretty much it's smart GM moves. You don't want to have to put yourself in a situation where you're so used to key guys fitting into your system, and then when they get hurt, it just makes your system go haywire. So bringing in a guy like this, who doesn't have to be forced into the system, can come in and kind of do his own thing when the Fournette needs a break, it's a good fit. This is a good fit. Come high stakes, I'm telling you, this guy's going to be a player to watch out for. Watch.
Next up, the 49ers, as he has pick 30 here in the draft. Benjamin Underwood and Bus. Benjamin Underwood. Is this the steal of the draft at quarterback?
Exactly. And I'm gonna need for the Cardinals guy. What's his name? Richie Rich.
Yeah. Go ahead, talk on him.
I'm gonna need for you to really tune in to what I'm about to say. This is the quarterback that you should have drafted, and you wouldn't have had to draft 3 quarterbacks in one draft. You get him, your quarterback situation is solid, and this is your high stakes guy. When you look at Benjamin Underwood, 94 throwing power, 85 deep, 85 mid, 91 short. And along with those great passing accuracy attributes, he has a little bit of speed. 81 speed, 80 acceleration. So if he can't find somebody open, he can scoop, and get a couple yards. Your guys combined can't do that. So all three can't, none of them can't do that. So hey man, pay attention to what these guys be doing in the draft, man. Well, you're not drafting 3 quarterbacks, aka HBO. Come on, man.
I know Sweets was thrilled when he saw this guy, especially when he started looking at his traits. He's got tight spiral. He's got conservative force pass. He's got ideal sense of pressure. He's a balanced QB style. This is a monster here at pick 30. And if you needed a quarterback and you didn't scout Benjamin Underwood and bring him in, if you had a pick before 30, you messed up, because this is the steal of the draft here at pick 30 at quarterback. We'll see another steal of the draft here in another couple picks. Next up.
Hey, before you go on, man, go on. Soon as Sweets drafted this guy, did you see what he did? He dumped Donald's salary on HBO. He dumped $20 million on HBO. So Sweets made it known Benjamin Underwood was his guy. Donald had to go.
And so he sent him to the Dallas Cowboys,
yes,
who is the quarterback whisperer for other teams.
Yes.
He's a quarterback whisperer because Beasel is so excited to be in Jacksonville. Dax in Jacksonville. Next up, it's those Kansas City Chiefs. And first, shout out to KP and those Kansas City Chiefs making it all the way to the Super Bowl. Had a great run. Good to see him back in the Super Bowl. Wish he could have hung another banner. But he gets Margarito Duckett. Best name here in the draft, Margarito Duckett. And here's the defensive end, Chris Murray, that could have gone off the board earlier, but he falls all the way to 31. Talk about Margarito.
Yeah, he's gonna be one. He's gonna be a guy that's KP's gonna start from day one. That's gonna be able to, blast off of that end like a stallion, flat out. He's gonna be good out there because he already has the user skills of where as though he can control any one of his linebackers that he choose. Even with Shaquem Griffin with the one arm, with the one hand. I said one arm, excuse me for that, man. But with the one hand.
Yeah.
KP just do what KP does, and this guy adding him into KP's system is going to elevate it through the roof. Watch, I'm telling you.
Yeah, 6'5", 267 pounds. This is a monster coming out of Stanford. All right, last pick in the draft, the New Orleans Saints, and Bus and Chris Murray. How does Paul Hamilton fall to pick 32? 95 speed, 96 excel. Now I know this guy was not rated in the first round. I believe he was rated 3rd or 4th. But how does Paul Hamilton go to a team that's already stacked at the wide receiver position?
Listen.
Go ahead, OG.
Know how he falls down? Because of the Green Bay Packers. Kurt, turn up the volume, man. Put the mic, turn the surround sound speakers on, whatever you got, and you listen to the show on, turn it all the way up. This is the guy that you wanted to add to your roster. You already have a run game that everybody respects. Everybody respects. You already have Juju Smith-Schuster, who, no matter who's guarding, he has a 90% chance of catching the ball. You put this guy into your offensive system, you will open up your horizon flat out. I don't care if you're playing against the Saints. I don't care if you're playing against the Bucs, your division mate. They're going to respect this guy because now, guess what? Ding dong, guess what? They can't stack 8 in the box now. So guess who gets off? Cobra. You know what? Now I'm getting way too much free chicken, man. I'm just be quiet.
Sir. Don't worry, he's not a Green Bay Packer. All right, Bus. Paul Hamilton goes to the Saints. Are you happy he's a Saint versus a Packer?
Well, I'm 50-50 on this. Yes, I'm glad he's not a Packer, but I got to face these guys week 1, so hey, I got to come up with some kind of defensive plan to cover 95 speed Paul Hamilton and 96 speed nearly. So
97.
97. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to drop him down one because he might get mad and then be running out there with 99 speed. So this guy, man, hey, he's fast. He's gonna fit right in. Neely's gonna show him the ropes. So there's really nothing else to say. I mean, he's fast.
This is a monster. And you know, Addy was super excited when he saw that speed. And shout out to Addy winning another Super Bowl here in the cycle. Definitely has been the dominant team here in the DML for Madden 19. All right, guys, that's all 32 picks here in the first round. We went through them very, very quick, trying to get you back to your day. Bus, Chris Murray. Is this the first time we see the guys from franchise, every single person on the franchise in the playoffs?
Of course.
Bus
winning the division. Chris Murray, are you winning your division this year?
We got some things. We got some things going on our roster, but we gonna contend this year because we taking that thing. We taking that thing.
No doubt. Hey man, Bus, appreciate you jumping on the franchise, the last one. Always good when I get to do a show with you, man. Appreciate you.
Rob.
Chris Murray, you know it's always a pleasure when we get to do shows together. Can't wait, as we'll be in the building here very soon in LA. So man, appreciate you jumping on. All right, I'm gonna let those guys get out of here. One last thing. I cannot explain to y'all how important EA play is going to be for the DML. Your boy expert, the commissioner himself, Nasty Noob, Mr. What up himself, and a bunch of the guys, including Chris Murray. We will be in Los Angeles at the Hollywood Palladium June 7th through the 9th. We are going to talk to every single developer we can for Madden. Clint Oldenburg, Ben Hamiller, you know those two guys will be in the building as we find out how does Madden 20 affect the CFM guys in our community. You do not want to miss it. We're also going to talk with our buddy Prime over there with NBA Live and talk to some of those developers to see what they got for NBA Live 20. And guys, you can find it all here on the DML Network on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. You do not want to miss what your boy Expert has planned for EA Play June 7th through the 9th. On behalf of the DML Network, it's your boy Expert. We out.
Thank you for tuning into the DML Network. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below.